Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Building Wars. I'm Dulcie Horowitz.
And Brianna here.
And tonight we have a matchup that I personally have been waiting for decades.
I mean, of the century.
Of the century. And I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one. So ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have the San Carlo Quattrofonic Fun. It's a very cool church by Francisco Borromini. And then we also have
the Santa Maria Novella
by
Alberti.
Mm-hmm. Now, Borromini's church is from the 1600s, and Santa Maria Novella is from the High Renaissance in the late 1300s to 1420 or so. Borromini is squarely a Baroque endeavor. So the technique between these two buildings is going to be interesting to see how they pair off.
Yes,
right?
But both Italian.
Both Italian, both churches.
Yep.
And we'll just see how their technique stands up against each other, how the High Renaissance does in the end compared to Baroque.
Yeah, let's get started.
All right, let's just get into it. The first matchup category for these two contestants would be Materiality. But this is where I think if Alberti's got any game at all, this might be it. Because there's a little bit of some green travertine going on in addition to the regular limestone stone.
I mean, it's good, but comparatively pasted on.
Interesting. Almost used like wallpaper. Is that what you're imagining?
Yes. Yep.
So thin at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So perhaps with Materiality, I'm sorry, but I think Borromini.
Yeah, I gotta give it to
hands
Borromini.
down. Yeah, that's right. And Alberti, not so much in that round. Round 2, Ornamentation. Here we've got Alberti. Lots of ornamentation going on there, but I have to say, Brianna, it's pretty flat.
It's very flat, and there's no depth, and pretty basic, if you ask me.
Kind of intricate, but also basic in the sense that it's not ornamentation in a three-dimensional sense.
No.
Strictly two-dimensional. Of course, that goes with the High Renaissance and thinking that shapes and shadows are for evil people.
And this is where Borromini, I think, totally contradicts that. He has so much texture, lots of shadows being created.
The facade alone is very convex and concave at the same time.
Yes.
This technique completely gets in the face of Alberti.
Much more organic.
As is the difference between a High Renaissance and a Baroque endeavor. Ornamentation, I gotta say Borromini. All right. Round 3 for these two titans would be light.
Oof.
Now, here I gotta say, Alberti does a pretty decent job of, bringing some light
There's
into
some
here.
pockets.
There's some pockets. I like the contrast.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of pop going on there.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
The thing about his light, I do think, I think that because he has just these pockets of light, those passageways do almost bring out a darkness. So
yeah,
that's
I
not
like
bad.
that. Contradicted to the Borromini, where it's more of a soft white overall glow. If you force my hand, I'm pretty tight on this one. I still got to go with Borromini as well. I'm sorry, Borromini's just kicking the crap out of Alberti in this match today.
Yeah.
It's almost sad, but I hate to say, Brianna, I was not totally surprised. And I didn't think Alberti stood a chance, really, to be honest.
I'm going to have to agree with you there.
Round 4, facial qualities.
I mean, when you look at the plans.
The plan alone, the spaces are sculptural. They're more elliptical in nature.
Yes.
They're more elastic. The spaces on the left are strictly more grid-like, flat.
I mean, I know I have my own bias here, but I tend to lean towards the romantic and not really the mathematical.
Right. The High Renaissance is all about not really using your senses, but using your brain. And I think in this situation, the senses are going to kick the crap out of using your brain. So. Borromini again, ladies and gentlemen. Final round, storytelling. Now this is where, again, I think Alberti's got some, if only because the typical setup of a church. You've got the facade that you pierce through, you go down the center of the church towards the altar at the end, and because the lighting is a little bit dramatic, by the time you do get to the altar,
helps it.
But let's look at the storytelling for Borromini. Again, kind of hard to... Just the spaces alone, and the fact that you are eked in off the street, around the corner, all this hiddenness, all this surprise.
Yep, there's lots to chew on in this space.
Yes, it's a little bit less predictable, I think, and it's not as straightforward and as rational, perhaps, as Alberti.
Yes.
So I have to tell you, my vote in this round as well, Borromini.
Same, Borromini. Got to go with Borromini.
Well, I have to tell you, that was a pretty bad fight.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect it to be much different.
Yeah, a little predictable.
A little predictable, but I'm glad it's finally out there that Borromini is the clear winner.
Easily.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to say.
Tough match, not tough match.
Tough match, but not tough match. And we'll see you back again for Building Wars.